Hey there, this is CJ Miller, sitting in the living room watching the Christmas tree lights. Yeah, so um, come see us in Shreveport, Louisiana. And uh, we're across the Red River from beautiful Bossier City, Louisiana. I did some video of the downtown decorations, and yeah, I really enjoy the holiday season. I know that not everybody celebrates a traditional Christmas. Um, I like this Christmas tree. Now, I don't think the Christmas tree. Uh, I don't believe it was originally a Christian tradition. I think it goes back further. You know. But yeah, no, if you go all the way back to the winter solstice, that's cool for me. Uh, I don't know. I yeah, um, but that's nothing new. A lot of modern religion pulls influence from previously existing culture as it uh, is handed down from generation to generation as people migrate from region to region, and certainly as as stronger civilizations moved in on more vulnerable civilizations. So my idea in this tree, some of the lights I pulled from the tree that I used last year, which was pre-lit. It was a pre-lit tree, and the lights didn't blink. But I took them off of the pre-lit tree. It was a 3 foot tree. It was really like a 2.5 foot tree with like a half a foot of a branch, to at the top of the tree. It was like, whoa. But this one's a 6 foot tree, but it's not a very, it wasn't a very plush tree, but it was a 6 foot tree. So, uh, I mean, to me, it didn't look 6 foot, like a 6 foot tree. But I have it on this table. It's a little bit taller, but it was supposed to be a 6 foot tree. I thought maybe it's a little shy of 6 feet, but whatever. Uh, and I used the lights from that 3 foot tree and kind of wrapped it around and kind of let it kind of come about halfway down, give or take. And then I took about the other lights, and I kind of wrapped them not just on the outside but also inside of the branches also. Uh, I wanted to create like some depth, and I wanted the lights to shine from. There's this thing about, hey, you take your decorations and put most of them on the front, and sometimes you don't worry about what's not seen that's against the wall. But for depth perception, you'll look and you'll see through the branches, and you'll end up seeing the other side of the tree. So you've got to have something on those other sides. That's why some of the bows do wrap around and face the wall and stuff. Like, even if no one's going to see those things, I will see it, and I will know as I'm moving around. But you see this right here? That's like a piece of a ribbon or a bow that's not fully visible, but you see a little bit of it from around the corner. That kind of makes it look, to me, a little bit more interesting, gives a little bit of depth, and yeah. So, uh, um, so it's a 6 foot tree. It's a little bit sparse, the way it came, but I was able to really kind of uh, have fun and fill it out and put lots of stuff in it. And it kind of has a weird uh, serpentine kind of shape to like a serrated blade. It's a serrated tree. But yeah, that's cool. I like it. One of my neighbors told me a few months ago that he likes my LED lights. These when I do the lights at night and like indirect lighting. He said that he likes it because that you know, aside from liking the way that it looks, he tells his people to look uh, for my window, uh, and then use that entrance to come to his apartment, which is kind of cool. It's like that is great. My window displays have become like a local landmark to my community, so that's kind of neat. And you know, I love any way in which I can express bits of individuality. Um, I thought about because I like bows and ribbons and things like that, and I thought about getting like a much larger bow uh, that lights up, but it was like the way it would light would be all in white Christmas LEDs, and it's like uh, I don't. I think that that would be like it would pull focus away from the blended color of the different lights. And also something else. A lot of the a lot of the lights that are on the tree that look like lights are actually uh, glittery bubbles reflecting the lights. The lights look a lot more uh, prevalent than what they really are. But it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool tree. Happy with it. Happy with it. So I think I'm a little obsessing with it because it was 3 days worth of work uh, between pulling the trees out, finding. I had to go get some more hooks, and I was like, I at least want some sort of balance, some sort of something that's going to give some sort of sense of balance, even in the asymmetry of these branches. Because yeah, and I think I found it. And then I wanted it to look fun, and but I didn't want it to look like it was one great big giant hot mess. And in about another week, I'm gonna have like some gifts uh, that are wrapped up and underneath this tree. So um, there'll be a lot less negative space. That's why I kind of have it on this table here, uh, so that the gifts can sit around on that table, and then some can go on the floor if there's not enough room. But yeah, um, for mainly for the uh, you know friends and family and stuff like that. Uh, I have my holiday gift, this kick-ass chair that I'm sitting in. This chair off the couch. My sister came in. I was like, I insist that you sit on the couch because we were out and we were doing a little bit of shopping, just regular shopping, no holiday stuff, just some sodas and things like that. But I was like, yay, and it was like I was like, yeah, and then I tried to get her, hey, lay down on the couch. She was like, no, I can't. I was like, okay, but if you lay on that couch, you'll not get up. It's comfortable. I actually literally, and I'm telling you, it was like watching a little television last night on that couch, and for some reason I felt so relaxed, and I just drifted off and dozed on the couch. And let me tell you, for a while, I, I I haven't really invested in a lot of you know super plush type furniture because when I moved into the other apartment, I needed furniture that was a little bit lighter, that was a little bit easier to move around. Um, and I didn't want to invest a lot of money in that apartment when I knew that I was not going to move into, when I knew that I was not going to live at the Fairmont in that one bedroom apartment indefinitely. I knew that I was there for a few years until I kind of got my uh, it was there because I took what was available, you know. And but I knew that it was that there was something else for me. Even when I first moved in, I was like, okay, this is great and it's nice, but this is not the end of the thing or whatever. So I didn't bother really to, uh, the furniture was functional. It was something for me to sit on to keep me off of the floor, you know. And then when I moved over here, there was a lot that I decided not to bring because I don't know. It was like a new beginning when I moved over here last November, not this past November, or September, end of September, going into October, really is when it was, but of 2022. I just knew that there was a lot of renewal, that I was kind of new stuff, new place, and so on, So, and then I spent about a year just moving things around, getting things fixated, uh, uh, fixated, getting things, me fixated, uh, as I'm sitting here staring at this tree. Um, it was more about me getting some furniture that I'd be happy with, but at first I had to do a little bit at a time, and I really didn't want to spend a lot of money on things until uh, I knew that maybe it was going to work out, and it's working out. And then so I started buying some furniture that I would see online that I liked at like prices that I could afford, and like there again, functional. But and yeah, I still had the other couch and everything that I was using in here. I actually moved it into the room that really didn't have any furniture in it, and I took one of the chairs and I moved it in there. And of course, then I have some sitting along the sidewall over here. I just moved it to the other side of the room, and yeah, it's cool. It'll be great. Um, my wish list, uh, the things I'm going to try to manifest next. I need a an upgraded television. The one I have now is about 15 years old. It's an LED, liquid screen display, about 31 and a half inches. It's fine, except there's starting to be some imprints on the screen. Uh, a little bit of cloud formation at the bottom of the screen. And that lets me know, hey, you can milk this thing maybe for about another year, but you need another TV. I had a bigger TV at one point that I bought, and it was a lesson in not taking a TV so big or anything, like not taking something so huge and putting it into a room where it didn't really fit properly, because I was doing some cleaning and I accidentally backed into the side of it, the corner of it, and just the whole thing just kind of like toppled over. And I was like, oh my God, like, because it was heavy and I didn't have, it wasn't mounted. It was just sitting on, it was on some, you know, uh, you know, standing, yeah, what do you call, the stand? It was on the stand that it was sold with. So it wasn't like, uh, bracketed to the wall or anything like that. Then when I just barely bumped into it, it toppled, and I was like, damn, because that was like, okay, well, $600 down the tubes. And of course, those TVs, it was a 65 inch, but they're even a lot cheaper now. And I think if I were going to spend that kind of money, I probably could get one that's almost like a zillion times like bigger, you know. Uh, but still, I don't think I want to do that. I think I just want to fill like that space. So I think maybe a 65-inch screen would suffice. I don't necessarily think I need the great big giant. I thought at one point when I moved in, the very first thing is, gee, I can save money and I can put fill this entire wall, make this one big old wall, one big huge TV screen, theater style. And it's like, well, that's even for me and my grandiosity, that would be a bit much. So I kind of scaled back. Plus, if I had a wall that was one great big giant screen, bigger even than like a movie theater screen or something, I don't know. It would just be like, you know, it would kind of take the fun for me out of going to a movie theater, which is an experience that I enjoy doing. So I want to consider that. Yeah, you can take your home and turn it into like a theater and theater sound, a big screen and everything like that. But if it's so wonderful, then you might actually lose out on the experience of going to a movie theater. And I kind of like that. It's a holdover from when I was a little kid, and it was a big special thing to go see a movie. When my parents were growing up, before uh, they had televisions in the home, they would go once a week or on the weekends or once or twice a week or whatever. They would go uh, see movies, and it would be they'd spend like the whole day, and they would double feature it with like little shorts, and it was a big production and everything, and that was, you know, cool. But by the time we were growing up, well, we had something else. We had matinee prices, and we still do. Uh, but it was like we could like clip coupons out of our yellow pages. Basically, we could go to a place called the Joy Cinema 6. It was Joy Cinema 6, and then they had another room, and I guess eventually they got another screen and they added it, and it became Joy Cinema 7. Go figure. That was cool. But yeah, so they started out, it was $1. And then if you take the coupon and you clipped it, and so the phone company would send out these yellow pages every year, right? With the coupons all the way in the back. And it was a great way to know what was going on. Uh, I don't know that they really do that anymore. Like everything's cellular phone now, and then the cellular phones break, or for some reason people just end up like ditching it, and getting new numbers and all this kind of stuff. So it's not really practical to have like phone. You know, everything's privatized and not public, whatever. So business listings, I don't know. You just kind of like look up a business on your phone. You don't really need a yellow pages, but it was kind of cool. People my age remember yellow pages. I guess they still have them. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, but they had these coupons for all the businesses and stuff like that throughout the year. Hey, if you take this coupon in, you'll get like 10% off of your dinner, or you would get, buy one, get one dinner or something like, whatever. And it may be like half a page of coupons for the same restaurant here or there with the ad or whatever. And so my people, we were like big coupon people. Not that we would take like a big shoebox of coupons to the grocery store or anything like that, but if there was something that we liked and we saw it, yeah, we'd clip a coupon. Yeah, whatever. If it was a bargain, but we were shrewd not to use a. If it was like a sucker. Anyway, then we'd go see movies, with the 50-cent coupon, 50 cents off of $1. And that makes me sound like when I was like a kid and I was talking about my parents were talking about they'd go see a movie for like a quarter, and with that quarter they'd see the movie and then buy candy and popcorn and soda and stuff. We were like, whoa, no way. Uh, do you know what it reminds me of? How 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 things really aren't really that different. Um, the rate of exchange keeps changing, and that really doesn't bother people who are in the local economy. But when people come to visit from areas where the rate of exchange is less, they'll actually spend more, meaning that someone coming to visit a high end community from a low end community, they will spend more money. Like if I go from some small town or Shreveport or something, if I go someplace like, you know, want to go tour Manhattan, or if I want to go to Miami beaches. So, yeah, it's going to be very expensive to stay in that big town, you know. So, what you do, fellow people, when you travel, you don't have to worry about that in Shreveport. We've got really good rates here, by the way. Our hotels are pretty nice. We've got some posh hotels, and then we've got some that are comfortable for for a general family rate too. Um, you'll be comfortable with it. Uh, do come see us. But if you go someplace like if I'm going to go to Dallas in a couple of months, a friend of mine's going out of town, and I want to go to Dallas and get dropped off in Dallas and have him pick me up on his way back. I want to just like hang out and get like a room for a couple of days and just kind of like veg out, do some shopping, browsing in places. We don't have a Macy's here, in Shreveport, but they do in Dallas, So I like, and it's kind of close. I like getting over there and do a little something different. So, but I'm going to save and put a little money together because that's going to be more. Um, what can I say? Uh yeah, going to dinner over there is going to be a little bit more expensive than say going to dinner uh, downtown. So rate of exchange. Well, I'm talking about money. The economy, the way it changes throughout the century. So it's centuries. I don't know. The generations, the way it changes through the generations. Let me get back to my point here. So my epiphany or my idea is that you know uh, the prices of things will go up, and so the wages that people pay workers must go up, and when one goes up, the other goes up, and back and forth and back and forth. And it's I don't know. Being that I wasn't alive uh, 75, 80 years ago, I don't know what to compare. I don't know what the living was like, but I do know that we didn't have internet bills. We had an electric bill, a water bill, maybe a gas bill, that kind of stuff, dependent upon those utility bills. And a phone bill, uh, which was not considered um, a necessity. And cable TV, uh, even in that time, was kind of a almost considered a luxury service, and it was priced as such. Can you imagine? I mean, like uh, 35 years ago, cable would be $20, $25, and for the premium package, you maybe would have gotten, um, 19 channels. And then if you wanted to, you could buy the additional HBO or the Showtime or something like that. Now uh, that's so so it was kind of pricey. I do remember when my mother started working on the one job that I became aware of. She took a minimum wage job that actually she worked at forever until she retired. She didn't always earn minimum wage there, but yeah, she started working when minimum wage was $3.15, and I think the national minimum wage right now is $7.25. I don't think there's been an actual increase. officially in minimum wage. I do think that most places have decided they cannot uh, expect people to live on that wage. So I don't think those are wages that get paid anymore. They're almost like even mom and pop businesses. I think they're kind of like uh, if you were paying your people $7.25, people your business would boycott you just for the whatever. So I don't know. I didn't mean to get on economy. This is Christmas. One thing about this too, I like a modest Christmas. It's one thing. It's a period where I think it's good to give of oneself, and even if it's a little uncomfortable, I think it's good to give uh, to oneself of oneself to somebody else and everything. Uh, but it shouldn't. You shouldn't. It's a little time of sacrifice or whatever, but you really shouldn't suffer to the point of for the god of consumerism, commercialism. You know what I mean? It's not a money worshiping, indulging holiday. Um, so you know baking a loaf of bread to give to somebody, or making a card or something like that. That's just as fine as anything else. Um, versus I don't know. My nieces and nephews, when they were real little, they would like print me out little coupons, world's greatest uncle on their little computer, and that was neat. I really didn't need uh, gifts that were bought or anything like that. But it was cute. It was just nice to be thought of. Um, I don't know. It's always been one of my fun favorite holidays. Uh, and I will spare you uh, my singing Silent Night right now. Maybe I'll do some Christmas carols on a guitar another time or something like that. But uh, I don't know. It would be more for fun than anything else. Love and light. Peace. Good night.